So welcome back to another pretty HD video. Today we have Season 2 of Villarreal Career Mode coming up for you, and it is going to be a massive one. After the reasonably, not disappointing as such, but you know, last season we only hit the Europa League spot. We was aiming for that big Champions League place. We didn't get it, which was okay, you know. It's a very difficult place to get in the La Liga when you've got so many good teams, and I mean so many good teams. Valencia, Real Madrid, Atletico Madrid and Barcelona grabbed the top 4 spot, and of course, how are you going to kick one of them teams out the top 4? That's a very big task, and that is the task which we're aiming for in this year's season. So let's get this started. As you can see on the news reports, this was the unfortunate news that we heard at the very end of last season. Matteo Musacchio, our captain, our main player, probably one of our star players with a big future, has handed in a written transfer request, and the likes of Madrid and Bilbao are in looking and circulating for him. We hope to not sell him to one of our big rivals. We're trying to sell him to a larger rival further away, but if necessary, we will use him in a deal. So, what is there to do? Look at the squad. So currently, of course, after the loanees of Joel Campbell and Denis Cheryshev have gone, it means we are left with Balassi and Moy Gomez as our first team wingers. Dos Santos remains as a cam. I do prefer him there, even though technically he can't play cam. He's certainly a more attacking central midfielder. Looking at his stand and slide tackle, why CDM is there I'm not quite sure, or why his stand and slide tackle is so bad I'm not quite sure. But being a right midfielder, I thought cam is probably a good suited position for him. Schneidel in the big tackler. He actually went down one last season, which is a shame, so maybe we'll have to look into another CDM. Musacchio and Cher. Fabian Cher, of course, is our signing that I didn't really want to make. I wanted to get a bit more of a unique signing than Cher, but Cher was necessary. He was the best option, and he was for free, so we can't really say no. He's got some awesome stats on this guy. This kid, look at that, high work rates, which might not be preferable, but you know, we'll have to stick with it for now. And then Musacchio, of course, who we will have to replace. Hopefully the money we bring in from him will really fund that. Mario Gaspar is okay for now, and so is Costa, but Costa's also unsettled. Again, more Gomez. We've got subs of Aquino coming in, so Aquino is a new player who has came in. We've got Perez as well, who's came in back from loan, and Chani, who's came back from his loan spell as well. Chani, Canny, whatever way you want to pronounce it. Canny is a very odd player now, and although a bit of a Villarreal legend, if I may say so himself, he's really on the decline. He was 74 rated at the beginning of this career mode. He's on the decline very quickly. Again, you've got the new signing Simon Romero off pre-contract. He'll be a really nice addition. And then we've got Vieto and Costa, of course. So that is the team as it stands at the moment. Again, winger-wise, we're okay, but not many of these players who have come back are really... They're basically just a step down from the players that we had in on loan last year. So we loaned in better players and loaned out worse players, and now we've got rid of the loan in, and our loan outers have came back, and they're not very good, basically. Perez is an okay player, to be fair. He will do a decent job here, I believe, for a while. And centre-back wise as well, subs-wise, Dorado, Bailey, Pantic, who's came back from loan. Bailey we know very well. We like Bailey, but he's not growing very well. Dorado we're looking to shift on. And Inguez, who is basically an unknown player. Never really heard of him. Never really looked at him. Not really interested in him. So if we go over to the sell players section, this is what I've got so far. We've got Inguez transfer listed because he is 21 years old and only 66 rated. Yeah, a bit versatile with the centre mid option as well, and one of our only left-footed centre backs, but probably not looking to use him. Chani, he's transfer listed. Sorry to all them Villarreal fans, if there is any that watch this career mode, but although again versatile, left mid, right mid cam, I would like to use him maybe more friendly, but he is probably on his way out. And Bonin as well, who is another centre back option from the Dominican Republic, but his stats just aren't cutting edge for this Villarreal team. So now we've got our loan listed players, as you can see. We've got Leonardo Suarez, who's got awesome sprint speed. He +5 last year, or it might even be 6 actually, so he looks really good. I like this guy. If we are to continue here at Villarreal for a few more seasons, then his pace could come in handy, but for now, Suarez, Al Suarez as well, coincidentally, is going to go out on loan. Along with his teammate Alfonso and Moreno, hopefully we can shift on now on loan because we have a few new strikers. And if we go ahead and look at our strikers, we've got quite a few. Vieto, Fransol, who we've put on the loan list once more, Romero, who we've got for free, Pereira, who's came back. And this guy, although he's 28, he will be on the decline soon. This guy can do a job for me for maybe a few seasons, just as a substitute backup striker. I really like the look of this guy's stats. He's better than Moreno at the moment. For maybe 1 or 2 seasons we'll have this guy. Moreno might come back from his loan spell as a bit of a better player. He did a decent job last year, but let's just leave him out for now. So now we've got our big important time. Who do we buy? Now on our list, Carvajal and Danilo are putting offers for both of them. Gabriel, Socrates, Victor Ruiz, Gerard Piqué and Sergio Ramos and Nicolas Otamendi. Now these two you'll be thinking, what the hell's going on there, mate? You're completely mad. Well, I'm not. I've put Musacchio in these deals and I just want to get an idea of how clubs value Musacchio. Yes, it's to Barcelona, yes, it's to Real Madrid, but they won't play there. Musacchio, I guarantee you, probably wouldn't play at both of these clubs. Victor Ruiz is a player who, because he's at Valencia and because Valencia are rivals, it'll be very difficult to get Victor Ruiz back to the club. But of course, he was on loan last season by default, and I really liked him. But it really annoys me in FIFA, you can't buy players from your rivals without massively overspending. In real life, it's not always the case, to be honest. It is the case a lot of the time, but in this case, of course, Victor Ruiz was loaned out to Villarreal, so Valencia mustn't mind too much about him. If you tried to bring him back on loan again, guarantee you wouldn't get him. So Victor Ruiz, we're going to have to put in a big offer for him. Socrates, now this is a player that again is aiming very high, right back and left back as well. Socrates can play, which I really like about the guy. He's got awesome stats, always a player that I've wanted to buy. Gabriel is, of course, the former Villarreal player who I'd like to bring back to the club. Wouldn't mind him as a big old centre-back. I say old, he's only 24. Big beast of a centre-back then, Brazilian, of course, as well. Then Nicolas Otamendi is our other option. He is just a tank. He's 83 rated and a lot older. So he's only 1 rating better than Musacchio and a lot older. So Musacchio could be really good in trying to prize this player away. But again, he plays for Valencia, which is classed as a rival in this game, much like Victor Ruiz. Then Alexandro, Jose Gaya and Kolasinac, along with Jordi Alba and, well, Camacho we'll speak about later. But Alexandro, he looks sick. This guy looks really good. Jose Gaya, again, Valencia probably won't be able to prize him away. Kolasinac, I'm going to say like that, Kolasinac. He's Bosnian. He's really unique. Don't really see this guy being bought in career mode often. Love to get this guy. Seriously, I would love to get this guy because he's very cheap. He's got some nice stats on him and he's Bosnian and I love Bosnians. Bosnians. Jordi Alba is up next and again a player that is probably out of reach, but we just got him there just in case. Now, CDM wise, we're looking sort of a little lower. We've got the likes of Camacho, would be an awesome Spanish addition. Camacho, I don't really see signed off on either, but he is a really, really nice option that I've managed to scout on my own without any help of websites. Rasmus Elm is a different and a bit more unique option. We might be able to get him on the cheap because he's a pretty bad club. I say a pretty bad club. Kalmar are one of the best clubs in Sweden, of course, but he has actually got his contract expiring as well, so we might be looking to get him either on pre-contract in January or straight off the bat. For just a bit cheaper. Then we've got this youngster as well. He's German. He's a nice little youngster. Guys, I believe you say. And he's got a few traits as well. Power free kick, which could come in handy. Good stamina. Good jumping, good reactions, could be a solid CDM. Then we've got Aquino who's glitched and he actually ran out of contract last season, but they renewed it, so I don't know why I've still really got him there, but we got him there anyway. Cheryshev, I really want to bring this guy back. He was sick. He was a beast. Honestly, Cheryshev is a player who I certainly want to bring back to the club. He's a player as well that I don't see many people signing, so the fact that he was already at the club is perfect. Again though, Real Madrid are classed as Villarreal's rivals on this game, which, how accurate that is, I'm not really sure. Yes, Madrid is the main city, but Villarreal is, of course, just off the outskirts of Spain, on the coast, next to Valencia, but Villarreal itself isn't anywhere near Madrid. Why there's much of a rivalry, I'm not really sure. I should top up on my Spanish league knowledge on rivalries, to be honest. But that could be quite difficult. Rafinha, Isco, Santi Cazorla and Bojan are all my central attacking midfield targets. I don't have an out-and-out cam, which is really quite mad. An out-and-out cam that is, of course, first team quality, that is. Bojan would be an awesome signing. I'd love to bring Bojan back to Spain. He can play right wing as well, he can play striker, but I wouldn't need him to play there, to be honest. He's just really good. I don't see many people signing this guy again in career mode. People say that he was a bit too bad to play in career mode, didn't have the best potential. His potential's gone up, I believe, and I would be able to get this guy into a good player. Cazorla, we already know a lot about this kid. I love him, and he is 30 years old, but he would be such a nice signing and such a nice addition to the squad, considering he used to play for Villarreal. Isco's also here as well, another main Spanish target, and then Rafinha, who again is a player who I've been pursuing for a very long time in pretty much every single career mode, and I would probably never be able to get him. But hopefully, fingers crossed, if all of these deals fall through, I would like Bojan. He's one of my main targets. Santi Cazorla is probably just a step too high because he's gone up in rating as well, which means he's gone up in value quite a lot. But Rafinha is a pretty much backup target. And then we've got the man himself, Giovanni Dos Santos. Due to high demand, I have put in a very low bid. Of course, we sold him off to Barcelona in January for £50 million. If we can get him any cheaper than that, I would definitely take him back at the club. Because the thing is, yes, Dos Santos is not the most striking of players, but he's an awesome player. He finished on 18 goals last year, which means he only scored 3 with Barcelona, which is of course very bad. And I mean, he's just such a good player. Due to high demand, people want him back at the club. I would understand why people want him back at the club, but he's not a necessity at the moment. But just before we advance, I do need to show you all my emails that I get at the beginning of the season. I've already gone through them all, but here you can see we've got EuroLeague objective to win the cup, which is going to be difficult. We only reached the first round of the knockout rounds, which I believe is the round of 16 or round of 32. No, round of 16 for quarters, so it's the round of 32, I think. In the EuroLeague last year, pre-contract arrivals of Romeron, we already checked that out, and Share, we've already checked that out. League objective is to get into the Champions Cup spot, or the Champions League spot, which is, again, my league objective. That is an objective which I want to succeed in as well. My season's budget sits at 18.5 million with 90 grand on the wage, so not too much. But I've been thinking, should I do a financial takeover? What should I do here? Should I do a financial takeover, or should I leave my financial takeover, try and battle through? Financial takeover and spend most of my money just on bringing Cazorla back to the club, which would be a very sentimental thing, but a very awesome thing, and people might not like it, but it would be all my money from the financial takeover would pretty much be spent on one player, and that would just mean that we get one off player to be added to the club for an awesome value. Or should I leave that out and just continue and struggle? Because, to be honest, 18.5 million for a Champions League spot, I really need a bit more, like 25, 30 million at the moment, to be honest. So I'm not really sure. What do I do in this situation? I might actually tweet out and see whether I get any replies. But I'm not really sure, because I do pre-record these things, so I've got to predict what you want to see. As a YouTuber like me, it's very difficult to interact with your subscribers, because I have to pre-record stuff to get it out to you in time. Otherwise, I lose all my footage, I catch up with myself too much, and then that's when my uploads start slacking. So being able to stay ahead is really good upload-wise, but not too good communication-wise. Although you can, of course, always suggest players at any time during the series. I will be happy to accept any suggestions at any time during the series, because there is always another transfer window until the end of the series. Obviously, that's when there isn't another transfer window, but there is always going to be one more transfer window ahead than I am, and that will leave me happily accepting some suggestions. So that's my season budget. My domestic cup objective is to reach the round of 16 stage. We won our domestic cup last year. It'll be difficult to retain it. I'm not really sure whether I'm going for the cup again, because I really want to concentrate on winning that Europa League. Okay, I'm thinking about getting the very lowest financial takeover you can get. It's only the level 9 one. I don't know. I'm really not sure. You see, we're not going to do many more seasons here at Villarreal, and to be honest, I mean, I want to use my financial takeover for this season on FIFA 15. I haven't used one yet. I was going to use it at Everton, never did. So maybe it would be a good idea just to invest a bit more cash to make the second season really, really awesome. Make them big name signings, which I need to make, and then leave it from there. Leave myself to develop as a squad, because with Musacchio leaving as well, this squad, I'm looking at it and I mean, it's okay, but some of my last season signings I wasn't very happy with. Some of the growth from last year was poor. I mean, we've only got 3 over 80 players in the first team, which is very poor. I mean, okay, 3 over 80 players, discounting Musacchio, that is, because he'll be off. So I'm really unsure. I'm not too keen. So you know what? I think I'm going to go ahead, and I think I'm going to take the financial takeover. To be honest, I think it would be pretty much necessary for me to do that. That would be pretty awesome. If I go ahead and just take the financial takeover and end it there, not in the series obviously. So, redeemed. It's done. We've got the financial takeover. Now what happens? I advance a day and it should say, oh god, FC Porto have received a bid of 6.5 million from PSV for Alexandro, and that is a very low bid. In fact, that's a very cheap bid. Anyway, let's continue. Have we got any news? No. Just Vieto could go for a hefty fee apparently. Interest shown by Porto. Any news now? Any news? Any news? Villarreal should have a takeover. I accidentally inquired for Camacho as well, which could be pretty bad because that's quite a lot of money. Okay. What? Where's my money? Oh, there it is. We've got our money. Normally there's a big news feed. Okay. So we've got our money, which is really, really nice. If we go ahead and check the news feed, it should be in here. No. Okay. Normally. Oh, there we go. Takeover complete. Move over here. Come Villarreal, as a new dawn is ushered with the arrival. I don't think it's too unrealistic for a team like Villarreal to be taken over. They're a very, very potential full team. They got an okay history which could be massively improved. They're the unspoken team of Spain, basically. So let's go ahead and let's just see what happens with all these transfers then, because we've already had all the offers placed in. I pre-placed all the offers, so you guys wouldn't have to see all of that. Oh, we've got quite a lot of offers. Few emails. Transfer offer for Bonin. Right, let's get that out of the way first. Yeah, whatever, you can go. We've got 66.565 million, for God's sake. 14.5 million for Rafinha. Stoke believe Bohan is too valuable. Santi Cazorla is also too valuable, even though in January last season I managed to price Santi Cazorla into belief of Arsenal. I managed to get them to accept an offer. Isco is, well, the sum's too low. Socrates, they're not interested in the player. Valencia, we've decided to reject it, but they want 10.5 million for Victor, so this is the first one I'm going to go back in for. Now, Ruiz is a bit of a weird player to go for. People would question my decision making going for Ruiz, but I liked him. I did like him last year, so I would like to bring him back. It would make sense. Gabriel cannot go ahead because they're not interested in the player. We do not believe. Okay, I think Alexandro's gone by the looks of it, because we can't reply to that. They were interested in the player, but Alexandro's gone, unfortunately. Okay, again, Gaia's too valuable. Kalashnik is too valuable, but Kalashnik is too valuable? He's like a goddamn like reject at bloody Schalke's. He's squad rotation player. Let's go ahead and put in 3.4 million. Okay, no, let's do this. 1.6 million plus Costa. Costa is unhappy here at Villarreal, and I would happily let him go at the moment because he's just moaning constantly. Otamendi, they are interested in the player, but they believe they They want 4 million plus the player which I included in the deal, which I believe was in fact Musacchio, correct. Now, I'm not willing to spend that much plus Musacchio. They're rating Musacchio at 24.4 million, which isn't that bad actually. We are not interested in the player from Real Madrid. They are interested in the player, Mainz are, for Geisch. Geisch, I'm not really sure how you say that in a German accent, but Geisch sounds about right. But they want 4 or 8 million with Bruno, and Bruno is a player I'm looking to shift on as well. I'll offer 4.5 million plus Bruno, sort of just go above halfway and see what they say to that. Malaga set a £17 million price tag on Camacho. That's like a lot of money. This is really laggy for some reason. £17 million on Camacho. Okay, I'll go in with a £14.5 million bid and see whether that can do anything. And then Danilo, 11 million. Really? When he's just gone to Real Madrid for like 28 million, I've heard that this guy's gone to Real Madrid for 28 million. We'll try and get him for cheaper. I'm offering 9.8 million. And again, a bit of a random number, but let's just go ahead and do that. And then we've got all our unacceptables here. So Rafinha is the first one that was originally unaccepted. So if I just go ahead with Rafinha, put in 9 million bid originally. Don't want to pay the whole 14. Let's do 12.5. Down to 54 million. We haven't spent any money, for God's sake. What the hell? Bojan. Bojan. Well, he's very valuable to Stoke, so it will be very difficult to get him away from Stoke. How is it Stoke? I'm not sure. I mean, Stoke are a really good side now, to be fair to them. 15 million I'm willing to pay for that kid. Again, he's the sort of player that do I really value him that highly. Alexandro is no longer with this club. For God's sake, I could have got him really cheap. He was one of the best players that I could have got cheap. Isco is, again, a player, a star signing that I would happily bring to the club for a lot of money. So we're going to have to offer more like 24 million if we're looking to price him away. 83 rated at the age of 23, that would be a really nice signing. Cazorla, we continue to offer for him. I would have liked Alexandra, you know. That would have been a really nice signing. I'm going to go ahead and offer what I offered last season, which was 24 million flat out for Cazorla. Now that is actually over, in fact. That would be a decent offer. And again, Valencia has said that Gaia is too valuable, but they're not holding back and saying that we're a rival club. So maybe we get a bit of luck in this situation. 5 million for Gaia, and I'll go ahead and accept it. You see how I'm still going for realistic-ish signings? I'm not going ahead and, yeah, I'll put 1 or 2 big offers in for big names, but I'm not going ahead and completely blowing my budget on one signing. I'm sort of doing loads of mini signings. Again, that's what Liverpool did. That's what Tottenham did. Maybe it didn't work, but not mini signings, just decent signings. Again, let's get rid of all of these. Gabriel, this was one which I didn't go in for. Gabriel is a player I'd happily bring him back to the club, you know. They're not interested in Dorado. So is there anyone else we can offer up? Again, Musashi, I don't think a straight swap would be worth it. I think Musashi is worth more than that. Anyone else we can offer up here? Dorado is pretty much the only one, isn't it? Anybody else? They wouldn't be interested in most of these players. Oh yeah, Xavi Espinosa as well. He's a player who looks very, very talented, and if he was a bit younger, maybe he would have been a good option. Eric Bertrand Bailey, will they be interested in Bailey? Probably not. Let's go flat out with the 6 million bid and see what they say to that for Gabriel. Gabriel would be a solid signing. Porto again, Alexandro, Gaia we've sorted, Kolasinac we've sorted, Otamendi we've sorted, Ramos, it's not going to happen, is it? Ramos is just out of reach, completely out of reach. They're not interested in Musacchio, which really surprises me actually, but it is Real Madrid, so what do you expect? So there we go, let's just continue on. That was a lot of transfers, a lot of transfer negotiations. I like to go in with loads of negotiations though, because at the end of the day, if they're unsuccessful, they're unsuccessful, which is okay. Okay, an offer for Inguez. I'm not going to accept that. I'll accept 485,000 for Pablo Inguez. Player sold. Bonnian has left. They have set a 6 million price tag on Rasmus Elm, which is very low. Rasmus Elm could be a pretty nice signing, actually. I would actually be okay with signing Rasmus Elm. Again, this seems a bit stingy, but I'm going to go ahead and offer just 5.5 million flat out and see what they say to that. Giovanni Dos Santos would be a very weird signing, wouldn't it, to bring Dos Santos back to the club. Already we've got quite a few unsuccessful negotiations going here, which I think is going to continue. A very dodgy signing this would be, but it's 25 million. Let's see what they say to that. We should include Vieto in the deal, you know, because Vieto's okay, but I prefer Dos Santos. 10.5 million for Carvajal, who is in fact a sporadic first-team player. Sporadic first-team player, is that make sense? Well, yeah, a sporadic first-team player at Real Madrid, which is really surprising. I wouldn't expect Carvajal to be sporadic. It's quite unusual. And then Cheryshev, they are not interested in the player. What did I offer with Cheryshev? Who did I offer in with Cheryshev? Come on, Channy. That's it. Oh well. Okay, so 4 million for Cheryshev. They won't accept that. Again, it says that it's a rival. What? Seriously? Oh my god. Okay, I'm gonna have to adjust the finances, but are you being serious? Okay, I didn't expect them to accept that straight away. You know why I didn't want them to accept that straight away, because it makes me think of my sort of offering a little bit too much there, but I'm not really sure. Let's go with a 10% bonus, crucial first team player. Gerard Piqué could be coming to the club for 9 million. And then again, Musacchio in return, of course, but fair enough. 14.5 million for Rafinha, and they're pretty demanding on that, it seems. I'm seeing a few more unacceptables, which is a lot nicer to see than straight out rejects. So, of the line of unacceptables, so it's slow progress, but it's progress. 21.5 million for Bojan. Whoa, that is a very, very high deal. Would I be able to afford that? I'm going to go in with 18 and see what they say to that. Do it in slow progress. Isco 38. No, it's not happening. That's not happening. Socrates, they are not interested in the player. Okay, we'll just leave him there for now. Gabriel, 11 million. If we wanted to sign Gabriel side by side with the rest of our players at the club. 8 million I'll go in with for him. I don't want to overspend on players, you see, so I'm trying to be as stingy as possible, which is the sort of manager I am. They are interested in the player, but they want 2 million, and the player which I added into the deal, which is of course our main left back. That's just a bit stingy, isn't it? 2 million plus Costa. Now, Jan Costa is a player that, is Kolasinac the perfect replacement? Is he really that good yet? Otamendi, 2.5 million plus Musacchio. Now, this means that it's one or the other. Simple as. I can't get PK and Otamendi now. It's got to be one or the other, which is fine by me, because I don't really want both. Again, Gage, they're looking for 8.5 million. Is Gage the right way to pronounce it? Gage? I'm not really sure. 6.5 million, maybe? Let's see what they say to that. And again, that pretty much leaves that section of the transfers. God, this is stressful. This is really stressful. I'm trying to use maths in my head to work out who's going where. Another transfer offer for Vieto, 8 million from Porto. That is a poor offer, mate. 38 million, and I may be considerate in that situation. 34 million for Dos Santos. So actually, that's not bad. Dos Santos we sold for 50. So 34, and I'm sort of considering it. I'll put him with 30 million bid, but it takes my transfer budget down to 23 odd million there. Santi Cazorla is too valuable. That's bullshit. Unless they've sold someone, because last season I was able to get him. It's only 6 months since then, and now I can't. I'd like to bring him back to Villarreal, but it don't seem like it's going to happen. It'd be awesome to. It's one of them things that I love to do, bring back old players to clubs. before FIFA, but it looks like it's not going to happen because the problem I face here, because Orla's already old anyway, so if it continues, then I mean 31, 32 is going to start declining, and I'm not going to want to bring him in anyway, so he's going to have to go. Jose Guy's going to have to go. Camacho there, 17 million demandant. But again, this means, how do I level out this? Who is a necessity? Who is most important? I did try 16.5 million there. Maybe I shouldn't have been that stingy. Who is a necessity here? Who is most important? That's the question. Now, if I go ahead, we've got 2 in the office. I wonder who these are about now. No, 9 in the office now. Transfer offer for Vieto. A bigger one, but it's from Valencia, our rivals. It's a much bigger offer this time. Now, if I go ahead and resubmit a counter offer of 34.5 million, I may be interested. Porto are trying to be... No, it's not happening. Now, if I was counter offered 34.5 million for Vieto, I'd say no straight away. So, to be honest, I understand. Right. Oh my God, he's prepared to stay here. So, Jan Costa has suddenly changed his heart. No, not changed his heart. Has had a change of heart. And he's prepared to stay here. Well, stop messing me about, mate. I'm sick of you. You're really starting to piss me off. So he's decided to stay here. Which means, well, it sort of means what's going to happen. Ingles is gone. Rasmus Elm transfer offer has been accepted. This could be an interesting deal, you know. I'm trying to not get him on a squad roll. Because he could actually be quite handy. He's one of them players that is quite cheap. And I couldn't do with a cheap player, which Camacho was a bit cheaper. Victor Ruiz, he's been accepted as well. That is nice to see. Again, I'm trying to not get them on squad rolls. 10%, 4 years I would like him on, because that would take him up to 30. And Cheryshev, again, it's too low. So I do need a winger. I'm unsure on what I'm going to do here. Now, Jordi Alba, they're asking for 23 million. That's old, who's that? What the hell? No! They've sold Musacho, 21 million, and he's involved in the Barcelona Gerard Piqué deal. Shit! Oh no! For God's sake! I saw that and I was like, who's that? Okay, let's regroup. Right, so we've got Jordi Alba, 23 million. Gerard Piqué deals fell through. Probably is why his contract offer isn't here. I would have expected it to come back by now. We go ahead and put in... Where's all our money gone? We've only got 53 million still. That seems quite low. Okay, plus 18.5 obviously. Okay, so that's that. Danilo they've accepted, which is nice. 83 rated centre back for 11... Right back, sorry, for 11 million. Actually, this is a really good deal. I'm really actually highly considering this because Mario Gaspar isn't quite cutting edge. Oh, Matteo Musacchio, was he worth more than that? I think he was, to be honest. It means that now we've got 71 million. Jesus Christ. We've got quite a lot of money to deal with here.